What's up, everyone? Welcome back! It is another glorious day of 10th edition.
10th edition, we have an index, and this index is Astra Militarum.
It is indeed. So, welcome everyone who's joining me in the trenches. I am super excited for us to talk about Imperial Guard, Astra Militarum, regular humans with las guns. You know what? I like that, though. Yeah. I like that element, like the baseline of like, you know what? I'm just a regular dude with a las gun and a bayonet, but I'm still going to kill a 10,000-year-old elf if I stab him.
I will admit, so the stories about the Guard are some of the best Black Library fiction there is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's easier to write about people than elves because they're more relatable and just honestly more
I was going for Space Marines. Elves are the best. They're the second. It's a Guard and then it's elves about them.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So we have the new 10th edition rules for Astra Militarum in all of their glory, except for points, except for Forge World. So let's just put a little quick caveat on this. We know that we don't have points. We know that we have Forge World. Yes, points affect every unit. We're going to try to avoid saying that as often as possible because we already know it. It's entirely possible some of our excitement is unfounded or something is so cheap that it's good enough to take anyways.
Yep.
We'll see.
But
for what we have, we're really excited. If you're watching this live, we have a lot more videos going up today. As a matter of fact, GW today dropped all of the indexes for the Imperium armies, and we're going through them one at a time. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are 7. Yes, we are doing them all. Mm-hmm. Pizza Bagel's calling out 15 hours in the chat makes me happy. That is, honestly, that was like one of the first 40K novels I read. I loved it. But if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe. That way you'll get notified every time we go live. You can probably already tell this week, but we are talking a lot of 10th edition stuff because GW's putting it out. Edition. Which means tomorrow and Friday we'll probably also be talking about whatever GW puts on their website.
Yep.
Subscribe, you'll get notified as soon as we go live.
That sounds awesome.
And if you want to get even more high-level content, you can find it in the link in the description below. That's thewarroom.vhx.tv. That'll get you access to the War Room with a free 3-day trial. If you've watched our content, thought about joining the War Room, now is the best time. That'll get you in the Art of War Discord. It's a very friendly, very active, very productive community, and it'll get you access to all of our awesome content for all skill levels.
Yep.
All right, you ready to dive in?
I am, but before I have something important.
You do?
I do. I have a fun fact with Quinton. The fun fact today is that the U.S. military has employed the draft in 6 conflicts. The last one was the Vietnam War. So does the Imperium. The Imperium also drafts people, and I don't think I would be a very good candidate for the Imperial Guard.
You know what? You can always dig a trench.
I can do that.
You can always dig a trench when in doubt. All right, so we're going to start at the top here. We've got the Astra Militarum. So we start off with their Army Rule, Voice of Command. I think their Army Rule is really good. I actually very much like this, and it's very thematic for Guard. It's orders. Mm-hmm. So all of your officers can issue orders. Each data sheet will tell you how many orders it can issue and where it can receive them. If you issue an order, it's going to be 6 inches.
Yep.
But I believe that some of the units are going to have a little bit of a change to that.
Okay.
So 6 inches is the base. You can issue it to whatever your data sheet tells you can.
Okay.
All right. So, you know what? First up, actually, let's hit a super chat.
Super chat?
Super Baharoth with a super chat. Thank you, Super Baharoth.
Elf.
He is. Yeah. He's also a bit of a flashy get. But Super Baharoth asks, is this book broken? I'm always afraid they don't know how to balance indirect. Super Baharoth, my gut feeling here is that this is not broken, but I do think it is still has some power. I don't think that this is going to be broken, but when we see points, if a Basilisk is 17 points a model, I'll change my mind.
Yep.
I'll get back to you then.
Basilisk is 3,000. It's probably fine.
Yeah, you know, there's something in between there that I'll be happy with. Yep. All right, so 6 orders that you can give out. These could theoretically go on anything.
Okay.
So these could go on.
You can only give one of these orders per.
One per, no splashing.
Okay.
And it's just command phase.
Okay, so one officer orders one unit, and they get one of these things.
Yep.
And you can't repeat them.
No, you can repeat them.
Okay, so if you have 2 officers that can both order move.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So plus 3 inch move.
Okay.
Plus 1 weapon skill.
Okay.
Plus 1 ballistic skill.
Okay.
Plus 1 attack to rapid fire.
Okay.
Plus 1 save characteristic, which cannot be improved past 3+.
Okay.
Plus 1 leadership and objective control.
Those are all amazing.
These are 6 generically useful things.
Yep.
Now, a note on take cover is that improving a save characteristic that can't be improved past 3+. My first thought was, but this is still useful on a tank into high AP weapons. It's not, because AP affects your save roll, not your save characteristic.
God.
So take cover, putting it on a Russ is extremely ineffective. Don't do that. On a Guardsman,
pretty.
On an Armored Sentinel, actually can get pretty useful.
Yeah.
So just wanted to do a very, very quick note on take cover, because I dove into that through the core rules after reading this, because I wanted it to be like, just a 1-up save on a Russ if they have high AP weapons, but it's not actually that. Still, very good. So, these are the orders. I really like Voice of Command. However, it is a little simplified from what you remember. There's no longer a rule to issue it after you get out of a transport.
I see.
There is still isn't a rule to issue it after you arrive from reserves. So you really need your officers
on the table in the command phase.
In the command phase, buffing units that were on the table in the command phase. It's a little bit of a weakness in my mind, but it's still not bad.
Okay, good to know.
All right. Now, we have the Combined Regiment, which is the Detachment Rule for their one detachment. Born Soldiers is back, but it's a little bit different.
Okay.
You get lethal hits on all ranged weapons if you remain stationary.
They don't count as a 6 to wound.
Yeah, so mainly it's if you remain stationary.
Yes.
Which is quite a significant change for a lot of units here.
Yes.
Because a lot of things want to be moving, especially like infantry that like this the most. Then other quick notes here is that it is actually until the end of your turn. So funny enough, it's not going to matter in Overwatch.
Okay.
Nope, it's until the end of your turn. So, interesting. I personally don't love the remain stationary aspect of Guard.
This seems much weaker than it used to be.
It is. It is significantly. And that's fine.
It doesn't convert, because it used to be a 6 to hit count as 6 to wound, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't proc for like devastating wounds or anything.
Correct. Doesn't go to that.
Cool.
Still powerful, not nearly what it used to be, but what it used to be was very good, so maybe we didn't need that anyways. We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's it for the detachment and army rules. We now have the enhancements. We've got 4 to choose from here. First up is the Death Mask of Valenius. And while the bear's unit is battle shocked, subtract 1 from OC instead of changing it to 0. However, it's not subtract 1 to a minimum of 1, as far as I can tell here. Okay. And this would make a lot more sense than in a than with damage.
Squad or something?
But in a guard squad with OC2 going to OC1 instead is still pretty useful.
Good, yeah.
Drill Commander. While this bear is leading an attack, each time the unit makes a ranged attack, if the unit remains stationary, critical hit is scored on a 5+.
That's good, but not incredible.
Yeah, and because it has to be leading a unit, that basically means this has to be an infantry.
Yep.
And so it's now, okay, well, how am I going to hold still with infantry? If you find the time to do it, this is great. I worry about what unit I actually want this on that's going to reliably be able to remain stationary. Kurov's Aquila, this one I love. It's fact. Once a game, just make an opponent's stratagem cost an extra CP.
Okay.
Great.
That's very good. That's very good.
Actually exists in the current Guard Codex, and it was always my 7th CP, which is the one I didn't spend.
Yep.
But it is quite a good option. Finally, Grand Strategist for 1 officer model only. They can issue 1 additional order in the command phase.
That seems really good.
I actually, very bare bones, very vanilla, also very good.
Yeah, it seems awesome.
This is solidly, reliably good. Both of these, Kurovs and Grand Strategist, are ones that I really like.
Yep. I like them both.
All right. Now, we're down into the stratagems.
Okay.
I'll take the first one because this one excites me.
Yes.
Reinforcements. In any phase, when a regiment unit from your army was destroyed, use this stratagem, even though it was just killed. Add a new unit identical to that one in strategic reserves at its starting strength with all wounds remaining. It doesn't return characters.
Okay.
So it doesn't return character units, not models.
Okay, so it doesn't get the you get a command squad back.
Yeah, you wouldn't get any of the command squad.
So is there anything that's really awesome that's regiment?
There will be several.
Okay, cool.
And so we're going to be checking keywords fishing for regiment, but some of my favorite armored friends.
Oh no, they're back.
Are regiments, and that is interesting in my mind.
All right.
Next up is Fields of Fire. You want to take this one?
Sure. So use this one in your shooting phase. You select 1 regiment or squadron unit. I'm assuming that's like Lehman Russ's or squadrons.
Yeah, Lehman Russ and stuff like squadrons.
After your unit has resolved its attack, select 1 enemy unit that was targeted by one of those attacks, and then each time another regiment or squadron model attacks that unit, unless your unit is battle shocked, +1 AP.
Yes.
So you can kind of like first thing shoots, then everything else that shoots at it is +1 AP. That's pretty good.
This I like
a lot.
2 CP is hefty, but
yes,
that is often going to be 2 CP I'm willing to spend.
Yes.
And you can have a relatively cheap unit start this off.
Yes.
You just have to
1 guardsman squad.
Yeah.
Like 10 dudes.
Yeah, they just have to be targeted by an attack. It's not even a hit roll. So, like, if you have a guardsman left, you can just be like,
lasgun.
All right, the lasgun into the custodians. Okay, the Russ into the custodians.
Yeah.
So I think Fields of Fire is very, very good.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Fields of Fire.
Okay, cool.
All right, next up is Suppression Fire. 1 CP when an infantry unit has been selected to shoot, and it's not at a monster vehicle.
Okay.
If you score 1 or more hits, that enemy unit is -1 to hit until the end of your opponent's next turn.
That's good.
So just shoot your infantry at something. This could even be a mortar team. That thing, not a monster vehicle, is -1 to hit for their turn.
That's good.
Solid minus, just 1 CP. I love that a lot. If you can find a important unit and just be like, -1 to hit, that will just
It seems like
be
a
good.
great late game stratagem.
Yeah, it really is. Or if your opponent just has a unit that is like critical, especially a shooting unit. Honestly, my first thought here is, oh god, the Desolators. Wait a minute, shoot them with a mortar team.
Yep.
Bink! Slow down. All right, so suppression fire, big fan here. Now, going right down the line, we've got 3 more stratagems.
Okay, we got Expert Bombardiers. Use this in your shooting phase. 1 Astra Militarum unit that is equipped with a Voxcaster, and 1 enemy unit that is visible to that unit. So I assume this is going to be like command squads or infantrymen that can get a Voxcaster.
Yeah, it's basically the infantry things.
Okay. Until the end of the phase, each time another guard unit model from your army makes an attack with an indirect fire weapon that targets an enemy unit, unless the attacking model is battle shocked, add 1 to the hit roll. So this negates the indirect penalty for your basilisks, your wyverns, your mortars.
It does.
Yes.
But there is the caveat that if you happen to already ignore the indirect penalty, if you could ever find that, which
It's just-
we'll see if that actually is there, then it's just a +1 hit.
It is still good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Expert Bombardier is another great strat. I think that with the combination of abilities like this, like Expert Bombardiers and Fields of Fire,
Ooh.
and Born Soldiers
Are Basilisk
require
regiments?
stationary.
Or are they
Or
squadron?
they're definitely regiment or squadron.
Okay,
They're
cool.
definitely one of the two. That could add up a lot. Oh, some people in the chat are already talking about some characters that will help out these combos. Those characters
no.
are interesting. So we'll get to those soon. Inspired Command. In your opponent's command phase, 1 officer can issue an order as if it were your command phase.
Seems good.
Yep. So, funny enough, in your opponent's command phase, if you manage to like consolidate onto an objective, you'd be like, wait, +1 OC.
Or take cover or whatever.
Or take
squad
cover,
to survive.
or anything like that. You're probably, if you really wanted to, you could even fix bayonets. Hey, that's the most appropriate thing possible.
Yeah.
1 more here is Armored Might. 2 CP?
Yep, and your opponent. This is a lot of expensive stratagems. Wow.
Yeah.
They're all really good though.
They're all good.
Yeah.
They're
In
all
your opponent's
good.
shooting phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, 1 Astra Militarum vehicle is -1 damage. That seems good.
Shooting phase only, no longer in melee, but still, that is good.
Wow. You can use this on a Russ or a Rogal Dorn
Anything
or a
vehicle.
Baneblade.
And it's a unit, not a model. It's a
By
unit.
gosh golly, it is.
Could
The
be.
unit is
Could be a
-1
unit.
damage.
Could be a unit.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
So good things here. Armored Might is another good stratagem. These are all quite expensive, which is important to note, but they're still strong. So that does take us out of the army rules and put us into the
Horse
data
boy.
sheets. Pony Boy Supreme. He does stay golden.
Yes.
He still has a gun. It's pretty good. He still
-1
is.
damage now.
It is. It's not quite as good as it was. He still has perfectly respectable combat. He's an 8 wound character with a 3-up save and a 4-up emblem. Awesome.
What can he join?
That's the thing. He's a leader. He can join basically all of the infantry units
and
you
Rough
could think of
Riders.
and Rough Riders.
Okay.
But he's not a lone operative, which is what I was frankly hoping for.
Yes.
At the start of your command phase, he can give you a CP.
That's good.
That is very good. And after both players have deployed their armies, select up to 3 Astra Militarum units and redeploy them. When doing so, set them up as strategic reserves, regardless of how many are there, etc. There's a couple things to note here. One is that this redeploy is just after you finish deploying your armies.
You don't know who
It's
goes first.
not after you know who goes first. This has been a common theme of redeploys, and I've gotten excited and then disappointed every time.
Yep.
Almost all of the redeploys are just after both units have deployed their armies.
Except for the Space Marine.
Except for one of the Space Marine ones,
Yes.
yeah. This is good. It's not as good as it could be. That makes me very sad. However, he does issue 3 orders to Astra Militarum units.
Oh, so you can order tanks.
You can order
anything.
Anything at all, and that is very, very valuable. I think that the combination of +5 CP with the stratagems that Guard has
probably worth
and the orders that he gives are worth it, even though the redeploy is not quite as juicy as I would have hoped. I still think Lord Solar is pretty good. He's not as tough. He no longer has any damage reduction. He's just an 8 wound guy. But I still think Lord Solar is pretty good.
Yes.
All right.
He was good.
Ursula Creed.
She is my favorite model in the Guard Codex.
That's fair. I like her a lot. I used her as my like generic officers because I like the model so much, and I think she is much improved here. So she still has a 4-shot pistol that is actually good.
Okay.
A power sword in combat, none of that matters. She's a generic Guard character.
Yeah.
Cool. While the unit is leading a unit, that unit can be affected by 2 orders at the same time.
That seems good.
That is so it is 2 different units, which would make sense. She can issue 2 orders only to regiment units. All of that is what you'd expect. Pretty good. Tactical genius. Once per battle round, 1 unit from your army within 12 of this model can be targeted with a stratagem for 0 CP, even if you've already used it.
Oh no!
So this is your
gosh.
This is your free thing. Now, it's not quite as good as, like, Golem and our Hive Tyrant.
Yes.
But also, she will likely cost less than Golem and our Hive Tyrant.
I would be shocked if she cost more than Golem.
I would be shocked, too.
Yes.
So it's only once per battle round, but it is within 12 inches.
Yes.
So you can use this on tanks, on basically anything.
Yeah, wow.
So Tactical Genius is very, very good. I like it a lot. And then Lord Castellan.
Yeah.
That's just a nice buff. She's a good unit to join there.
I like her.
And she can join the infantry units you'd expect, which is the Cadians,
the infantry,
and Kasrkin.
Cool. Yeah.
There you go. No rules yet for joining a unit that already has a character, but we'll see about that. The Cadian Castellan, Baby Creed, is just a generic guard profile with generic guard weapons. Yep. Nothing shocking here. 5 pinball, cool. Gives their unit sustained hits 1.
Okay.
If you can figure out a way to do this, I would love to give this guy the critical hits on 5 thing, but you have to remain stationary. Yeah. But if you can pull it off, it's then a unit that hits on that 5+ isn't a extra hit and a wound. Which
that is good. Is good.
If you can find a unit that wants to be stationary, I would like to do that.
Shoot and fall back, and then can issue 1 order.
Yep, it's very generic.
Probably going to be cheap. This character doesn't do anything aside from some minor buffs. So
minor buffs. Sustained hits 1 is nice, but this is all nice. None of this is crazy.
This is amazing. Yeah.
All right. Tank Commander. We're going to the only officer vehicle.
Okay, so it can order squadrons.
Yep, so 1 order to squadron units. But since they don't splash, it's literally 1 order.
Yeah.
Tank Commander has a lot of the Rust weapons. It can take any of them. We'll go over that in a minute, but basically all of its stuff is Ballistic Skill 4+. Here's its rules. This model can issue an order to an eligible unit 12 inches away instead of 6.
Okay, good to know.
So the Tank Commander can issue orders a little further, but only to vehicles. And then when it's destroyed on a 2+, do not remove it from play. After the attacking model has finished making its attacks, it may shoot as if it was the shooting phase, as if it had its full wounds remaining, and then remove it from play.
That's an amazing rule.
So 2+, shoot on death with a Tank Commander.
That's incredible.
I love that.
Yeah, wow.
Love me a Tank Commander. Tank Commanders are great.
Can it shoot at anything?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yep, just shoot on death.
Just good.
Yep, just shoot on death. Real simple.
Cool.
We'll go over the different Russ weapons in each profile.
More or less what you'd expect.
Because they're not, a lot of it is what you'd expect. They're not all actually listed here. Some of them are listed in like an index in the back, but then each Rust data sheet will tell you the Rust weapon. But the boilerplate part of this is that a Hunter Killer Missile is better than it was before. At strength 14, AP 3, it is much better than before. Heavy Flamers and Heavy Bolters and Heavy Stubbers are exactly what you've seen in a lot of other books. All of these weapons are Ballistic Skill 4. And the Battle Cannon, we'll cover that one here because it's here, is D6 plus 3 shots at 10, 1, 3.
AP1 hurts.
AP1 hurts a lot, but at least you have that ability to get to AP2.
Yes.
Which, in my mind, makes it feel a little bit better.
So one thing I'm noticing is that this guy does not have squadron, so he can't order himself, but Leontus can order him because he's Astra Militarum.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And that also means that 2 tank commanders can't order each other.
Which is important to know.
It's important. So yes, tank commanders are good. This rule is very good. And the rest don't have bad rules, but the shoot on death on a 2+ is a different level. But you don't want to take all tank commanders because then no one gets orders.
Yes. And
that is important. And a tank with orders might be better than a tank commander. We'll see. All right. Tank commanders doing their thing. The Platoon Command Squad. It's 5 guardsmen, but one of them is the commander, and he's a 3 wound guardsman.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. The Bearers unit has a 6 at Feel No Pain.
Cool.
That's important to know because you can join this 2 unit.
Okay, so you can take like a big old squad and get a say. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then with the Master Vox, the officer can issue orders to an eligible unit 24 inches away, which no longer has to be a unit with a Vox.
Got it. That's good to know.
So that is useful. +1 objective control to everyone in the unit. That's everyone in the unit, and this is a leader. And then it's just the command. Let's see. All platoon units within 6 inches of the platoon commander can be targeted with stratagems even while battle shocked.
That seems good.
Yep, guard isn't great leadership, so that is important, because like even an officer here is leadership 7+.
Wow, okay. Which Leontus is he 6?
I think Leontus is a 6.
Cool.
Well, you know, I should be looking at this. 7 for Castellan, 7 for Creed, 6 for Leontus. Yeah, this army's not brave. Chaos Knights rejoice. Alright, so that's the platoon command squad. Honestly, it's a couple nice buffs for the command squad. They can take all of the guard weapons you'd expect. These weapons are exactly what you'd think. I'm not going to read them all.
Yeah.
Here's what's important, is that this unit can be attached to Catachan Jungle Fighters, Death Corps, Krieg, or Infantry Squads.
Okay.
Not Cadians.
Okay.
You'll need a Cadian command squad for that. Luckily,
they're right here.
We're there.
What do they do?
Same profile you'd expect. Leadership 7+ on this officer.
Let's go.
Yikes. So you can ignore any or all modifiers to the characteristics of models in this unit, and any rolls or tests made for models in that unit. So you ignore hit mods with this model's unit.
Wound mods.
Wound mods, modifiers to your objective control.
Mm-hmm.
So you're really not taking a lot for being battle shocked. Everything but AP, you're basically ignoring. That's very useful. Cadia stands. The Master Fox is the same. The Medipack is the same. The Regimental Standard is the same.
Cool.
Very useful. The fact that you can do things like this, which literally ignores OC modifiers because it's a modifier to a characteristic, makes me really sad about the Death Mask of Valenius.
Yeah.
Like, what is that thing doing when I can just do this?
This is way better.
It's just right there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Master Fox is actually quite nice because it doesn't have to target units with a units that already have a Vox themselves, so it really makes it more diverse. I like the Master Vox. I like all the command squad options a lot. I'm just hoping they're cheap because it's a lot of nice things and nothing crazy. Yep. So I just hope it's cheap and I want it. But no, and they can only join Cadian shock troops. Again, no rule here that says I can join it even if there's an officer. Nothing of that so far.
Okay, cool.
So we'll have to see. Iron Hand Straken.
Leader, he's got scout.
Let's actually look at this. He has a plasma pistol. Cool.
Sure.
He's a 4-wound guard character who is still T3, but is a 3-up save with a 4-up invuln.
It's not
a little tougher.
Yeah.
Anti-monster 4+ on his bionic arm,
okay,
which is 6 attacks, weapon skill 2, 6/2/2. Very respectable melee for Iron Hand Straken.
That's impressive. That's not amazing, but it's good for a guard character.
Yep. He gives all melee weapons in his unit lethal hits, and you can reroll the hit and wound roll each time this model makes an attack if it made a charge move.
Okay, so he does hit kind of hard.
He hits very respectably.
Yes.
He's not insane, but this is by far the hardest hitting guard character.
Oh yeah, it's not even close.
So that's a nice thing to have, just because a lot of guard lists kind of like to build like a little hornet's nest of, here's a little bit of stupid damage because you tagged me that you weren't expecting.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Yep. This is a good thing to consider here. He can only join Catachan Jungle Fighters.
Okay.
He can issue 2 orders.
That is good.
So he is better than a Castellan. Comparable to Creed, different rules. We'll see how points work out.
Yep.
Alright. Primaris Psyker.
Okay.
Gives the unit a 4-up feel no pain against psychic attackers. Mm-hmm. Start your opponent's shooting phase on a 2+ 4-up invuln for the unit until the end of the phase.
That seems good.
That's very good. I like giving a unit a 4-up invuln. Only shooting, still good.
Because his gun is also pretty funny.
Oh, the Psychic Maelstrom?
Yeah.
Glad you noticed. If you overcharge it, it's a... he's 3 wounds, so don't overcharge it.
Oh,
so let's actually look at the other one. Ballistic skill 3, strength 6, AP 2, damage 1.
I might still overcharge
blast,
it.
devastating wounds. Man, if you roll a 1, he's dead.
You can reroll it.
You could CP it, but brother. Yeah. Honestly, if I have a plasma pistol on a sergeant and I can like choose, if I just roll 2 dice and if it's a 1 of them, I just kill the sergeant.
Yeah.
I'd probably do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not a bad gun, especially D6 plus 3 at 6/2/2, ballistic skill 3 dev wounds.
Yeah.
That's a really good gun.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what it's better than?
Most other psychic guns?
It's better than like a Farseer.
Good. That's honestly what they deserve.
That's hilarious.
So actually, Primaris Psyker, very respectable. I like this a lot. This will make a unit very annoying to
kill. Can you join an infantry squad?
You can join a Cadian Shock Troop, Catachan Jungle Fighter, Death Corps of Krieg, Infantry Squad, Kasrkin Scion unit. You can join any of those, and as a matter of fact, I think you should, because the Primaris Psyker, very good.
Why is he better than most of the Thousand Sun Psykers?
Because he stayed loyal, and they did something wrong.
Fair.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Primaris Psyker is a winner.
Oh, yeah,
if you roll a 1, you're going to cry, but it's still a winner.
Sergeant with the Thousand Pistol.
No, if you roll a 1 on his, like...
Oh, then yeah, no.
That's bad.
Does he take mortals? Oh, he does.
He does take mortals. He could die to that. That would be sad. So... This is really good. And now, Gaunt Ghosts. Not leaders, but lone operatives with infiltrate, stealth, and fights first.
This is my, I think, third favorite series of books in the 40k novels.
Yeah, I heard lots of good things.
Yeah.
So, always gets the benefit of cover, in addition to being a lone operative. And if your opponent's turn, if you're not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, remove it from the battlefield. Set it up 9 inches away. This is very good for a mission play thing.
Okay.
However, one very big downside to this. You aren't there on the command phase when you want to issue your 2 orders.
I see.
So this is great to have like a pick up redeploy. I think it's going to be really good for like the tactical mission cards that we saw in the Leviathan box. But I hate that you just don't do orders if you do that.
I'm kind of sad that all of the Gaunt ghosts are not their own individual dudes, though.
They have a... Yeah, no, that's true. They're not.
Yeah.
They have a laundry list of
One
things.
autocannon.
Every single thing here, assume that it's taken once, except for like the las carbine.
Yep.
But they can advance and shoot with a lot of this. They can order themselves. This is a very useful unit. If it's relatively cheap, I like this a lot.
Damage 4 sniper.
Yeah.
Did it damage 3 autocannon?
Most of them are, actually.
Oh, really?
Most autocannons are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Anyways, I really like lone operative. I like infiltrate. I like stealth. I like fights first. The damage here is not amazing, but, you know, just a bunch of... it's like 3 attacks each at weapon skill 3, strength 3, AP dash. It's just a lot of, like, shivs if a cultist unit gets near you.
Yeah.
Like, this will beat up a cultist unit very reliably. And then you've got a couple random knives, like M. Cole's straight silver knife, and Gaunt has a chainsword.
Yep.
That's all fine.
I love that Trigon Bragg outshoots 2 auto chickens.
Good. His ballistic skill 5, but 4 shots at 9 1
We
3
give
is
plus
nice.
1 to hit, and then the auto chickens hit on 4s, and he hits on 4s.
That's true, yeah. Give him plus 1 ballistic
He
skill.
got heavies, so he gets on 3s.
Good. Yep. So I really like Gaunt's Ghost. I hope they're not too expensive because they don't do much, but they have a lot of useful rules that make me want to just take them.
Unit's awesome.
Yep. Also, really cool models.
Yep.
So I like that. The Regimental Attaches. So let me just read the rule first to understand how this works. Yeah. Honestly, this is the most important part. This unit must join one command squad, so you can no longer buy one of the 3. You buy all 3 at once or none at once.
Got it.
Can join a command squad, and then a command squad can't have more than 1, but then they're just part of that command squad, so if that command squad joins something, it goes in, increases starting strength
So you can
accordingly.
take an infantry squad, then join a command squad, then join the Regimental Attaches.
Exactly.
Cool.
And they each do a different thing. The artillery commander, at the start of your shooting phase, select an enemy unit within 30 inches invisible to this unit's master of ordnance. And, blast weapons fired by artillery get sustained hits 1.
That's amazing.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Aeronautica commander, all Astra Militarum aircraft get plus 1 to hit against a thing you pick within 30.
Cool.
And, enemy units cannot be set up on as reinforcements within 12 inches of the astropath model. So that guy in front of the unit can, like, stop people from landing near you.
So I like the Astropath and Artillery Commander. I don't know what the planes do, but I'm assuming the Aeronautica Commander is less good.
The Aeronautica Commander is the one that I would leave at home if I had a choice.
If this unit is cheap, I like it.
Yeah, just shove it in command squad.
Yeah.
They're all 1 wound with the 5-up save. Frankly,
the
Aeronautica Commander reads to me like I'm going to attach this to a guardsman squad and I'm going to kill him first.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He is less valuable than a guardsman.
He is.
He has a las pistol. That's fine. I think he's just... We're just throwing him out. But that's okay. Maybe some of the planes will be worth taking, and suddenly plus 1 to hit is important. I don't know.
It's hilarious.
Maybe.
He's the first to die.
Yeah, I think he is. Orgyn Bodyguard has a 6-up Feel No Pain, which I do like a lot. Then he gives an officer in the unit a Feel No Pain 4+, which I think is really important because if you have your officer sniped out, it is brutally bad. And if the officer model has lost 1 or more wounds, this guy is plus 1 to hit and wound.
Okay. So he is no longer invincible.
No.
Which is good.
Nope. But you can give him a 4-up invuln or a 7th wound. I personally like an invuln. We'll see what the points are.
Yeah.
And his Bullgryn Maul is 5 attacks at 7-1-2.
That's a respectable amount of combat.
His huge knife is 6 attacks at 8-1-2.
What?
His huge knife is much better than a Bullgryn Maul.
Yeah, you take the knife.
But you cannot take the knife at the same time as a shield. Because the knife has to be replaced with the shield. I personally like a 4-up
I like
invuln.
the shield, yeah.
Here's an important thing to note.
He's not leading.
He joins a command squad. He's loyal.
Okay, cool.
However, he's not a character. Which means you can just allocate wounds to him when you want to.
Okay.
So, if you start getting hit by a bunch of, like, AP 2 or 3 damage 1 stuff, and you have guardsmen who are about to get eviscerated, you could tank a lot of that on an Orgyn Bodyguard. But once you start allocating to him, he is going to die at some point. So you don't want to do that needlessly, but that is a nice option.
So you can put the Orgyn Bodyguard out and he'll tank for the guardsman?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can just do that, which I think is quite useful. All right. So, down the line. Nork Deddog has the same kind of rules.
Yep.
He is a 5-up Feel No Pain and a 4-up Armor Save, so a little bit tougher, with the same wound count. Same thing, he gives an officer a Feel No Pain. And when it's selected to fight, select an enemy unit with the engagement range of this model, not the unit.
And they take a respectable amount of mortal wounds?
On a 2+, take D3 mortals. On a 6, D3 plus 3. That's funny.
And his knife has devastating wounds.
Yep, and it's and he hits on 2s innately.
Cool.
Yeah, so good for Nork Deddog. He joins an officer or command squad exactly the same as the other guy. Perfectly fine. This is pretty good. I don't know. He doesn't have an invuln, but honestly, Nork Deddog with a 5-up Feel No Pain and a 4-up invuln against shooting from the Astropath, or sorry, the Primaris Psyker. This guy could actually tank a lot of anti-infantry firepower in front of a guardsman squad.
It's impressive, yeah.
Because he could get a 3-up in cover. If you give him an order, he could get a 3-up, goes to a +1 with cover, and suddenly he tanks AP1 very respectably. And with a 5-up Feel No Pain, this guy could just be like, oh, you shot an anti-infantry weapon at my guardsman. No.
Yeah, no, but...
Start pointing anti-tank here.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool, yeah.
I like Nork Deddog.
Yeah.
All right. Do-do-do-do-do. Infantry squads.
Yay.
Every infantry squad has the guardsman profile.
Cool.
They're OC2. I'm not going to cover it every time. They all take the guardsman weapons. This is exactly what you think.
The infantry team is OC4, though.
It is, but you lose 2 guys to make it.
No, but the point is you can just tap the base.
You could, and it's OC4, which is kind of nice. So let's just kind of go through all 4 of the different infantry squads.
Sure.
They're very similar. So what the infantry squad does is each time you make a range attack, if you're on an objective marker, you get the benefit of cover. Cool. That's fine.
Good.
You might be able to get cover anyways. Voxcaster is very consistent. Anytime you target it with a strat, on a 5-up gain a CP, if there's an officer within 6 inches of you, you add 1 to the roll, so it's a 4+.
Cool.
And then you get 1 of the fun weapons.
Cool.
This unit is basically going to be 1 to 20 models, and you can choose to replace 2 models with that. So guardsman units go up to 20 now.
Cool.
Which makes sense. I always hated that Battle Sisters and all guardians could outnumber guardsmen. I was like, surely not, right? I'm a guardsman. But conscripts appear to not exist, so this is that. All right. And just kind of going down the line. So that's the basic infantry squad.
Okay.
Cadian squad. You get 2 special weapons for every 10.
Okay.
So an extra weapon, but you can't do the heavy weapon team.
And you can go up to 20.
And you can go up to 20.
Cool.
That'll be consistent for all of them.
Got it.
Foxcaster's the same. Guardsman profile's the same. But you can stick in objective.
Okay, that's good.
So shock troops can stick in objective.
I like these guys.
Get 1 extra special, can't take the heavy.
Also, these models are dope.
The models are much better for the Cadian shock troops, but frankly, you take the guardsman model you want, you say all my guardsmen are this, and you move on. I didn't use my Death Corps troops as Death Corps.
No.
All right, that's the second one. Third one, Death Corps of Krieg. While this unit's below its starting strength, +1 to hit. While below half strength, +1 to wound.
That's much less good.
It's honestly not bad for still just a small unit.
That's fair.
I mean, if you take a 20-man, you're just going to lose a dude.
Yeah.
And then it's screw it. We're just going to be a little tougher.
But these are lousy ones, right? I'd rather have sticky objectives.
Yeah. Probably. But let's look at some interesting things. The Death Corps Medipack. At the start of your command phase, if the bearer's unit is below half strength, you can return up to D3 destroyed Death Corps
Okay, I like that a
unit.
lot.
I like that a lot. Let's look at some things here. So first thing to note, you can't actually take a Medipack.
What?
I don't know what to tell you. No one can take a Medipack. All right, I'm just going to assume someone can take a Medipack.
Okay, cool.
But for every 10 models in the unit, up to 2 may have one of these weapons. And for every 10, 1 can have this. So in a 10-man, you could have 1 melt-a-gun and 1 grenade launcher and 1 plasma.
Okay.
Then in a 20-man, you could have 6 special weapons.
I see.
So you get an extra weapon or the Voxcaster. Because for everyone else, for Cadians, it's a Voxcaster, 2 special weapons. Here, it's a Voxcaster or a special weapon and 2 special weapons. Which means, practically, In a 20-man, you could take 5 special weapons and 1 Voxcaster, because you just don't need a second Voxcaster ever. And then like a plasma pistol on the 2 Watchmasters. I honestly like this. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, power weapons, things like that. You can get a decent amount of special weapons in here. A bunch of ablative guys. And as soon as GW lets me take a Medipack, I will take 1. And if I can take 2 per 10, that's actually very good.
So chat says it's just an ability now. Oh, no, but it's a war gear
It's ability. A war gear ability.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
No, because if you don't take a Voxcaster, you don't get a Voxcaster war gear ability. Someone has to be equipped with a Death Corps Medipack for this to work. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt.
You can join 2 leaders to this.
Yes, this is something I forgot to touch on. It's for all of the commands. So this unit can have up to 2 leaders attached to it, providing no more than 1 of those is a command squad. So if it does and the bodyguard is destroyed, the leaders all...
So you can take 20 guardsmen, and a Primaris Psyker, and a command squad, and a bodyguard, and it's all 1 unit.
Yes.
That seems good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so either they need to make Death Corps Medipack into a regular ability, or they need to give someone the option to take a Death Corps Medipack. Mm-hmm. We'll see what they do. I would guess that someone has to take the Death Corps Medipack.
Yes.
I would frankly like it if you could take 2, but we'll just see how GW fixes this and work from there.
Yep.
Still, I like the Death Corps of Krieg unit because I like healing dudes if they let me do that. I like having a little bit extra stuff. Sticky objectives is nice. Frankly, for all 4 of the guardsman options, we're going to look at which one's the cheapest.
Yes.
And that's going to be the one that I take.
Yep.
Almost certainly. Finally, the Catachan Jungle Fighters. Mm-hmm. Scout 6.
Okay.
Kind of nice. +1 strength at AP and melee if they made a charge move or were charged. No changes to attack, so they're still 1 attack each.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. They're not like good in melee still, but you know, it's something.
They'll beat up other guardsmen.
They can only take flamers as their special weapon.
Much less good.
Flamers?
Yeah.
I actually like flamers a
lot.
It's because they're assault.
They're assault? Are they? No, they're not.
They're not. Oh, God. They're assault in some books. They're not here.
They're not here.
Dang it. All right. Well, they're not assault here.
Yeah.
Assault in systems. We'll talk about that later.
Plasma or melt the guns or...
Yeah. Scout 6 is fun. Gives you a little bit of screening, a little bit of up there.
Yep.
2 special weapons per 10, but it has to be a flamer. And that's basically it. Mm-hmm. And you can get a Voxcaster. And they have more limits on who can join them. It's basically just the Catachan people.
Yeah.
So Scout 6 is really nice. Miss the weapon options. The better melee is largely irrelevant. Mm-hmm. But Scout is a nice thing. So all of them have some amount of usefulness. And Scout in a transport could also be quite useful.
I like that they're all different.
I do like that they're all different. Again, whichever one is going to be the cheapest is the one I'm going to want.
Yep.
Just plain and simple. There's no other way around that. So,
Sly Marbo.
Sly Marbo is kind of cool. He's an infiltrator. He's a lone operative. He's stealthy.
Cool.
All makes sense. He's a 4-1 guardsman without an invuln.
Cool, whatever.
His melee is perfectly fine. It's 5 attacks at 5-1-2.
Anti-infantry plus and precision.
Yep, anti-infantry plus and precision. His pistol is the same rules. Anti-infantry 2 plus pistol precision. 3 attacks at 5-1-2. Always hits on 2s.
He's a pretty okay character
He's a pretty okay character assassin. Yeah. And each time an enemy unit targets a friendly Militarum unit within 3 inches of this model with ranged attacks, after the enemy unit's finished making its attacks, this model can shoot as if it was a shooting phase.
Got it. So he's Cypher.
So the one thing I don't like about this is that he can shoot with his gun, which is 12 inches, and he's a lone operative.
That's the issue.
There's just like anyone he can shoot could have chosen to shoot him.
Yep. And then he just dies because he's 4 guardsmen glued together.
Yeah, he's just 4 guardsmen in a trench coat.
Yeah.
And like anyone who gets within 12 inches of him will be like, oh, is that where Sly Marbo's been hiding this whole time? Bang. Like, all right, we're good.
Each time this model has shot, if it is not within engagement range of enemy units, it can make a normal move as if it was your movement phase. Okay, so we can...
That's very cool. And it's each time it's shot. So if somehow your opponent just keeps shooting units within 3 inches of him without ever managing to shoot Marbo, he will just dance. But I feel like this is a unit that never works twice.
No.
But it's also just good to have more lone operatives, because those are good.
I like him for just sitting in the back and...
Yeah, I don't like any of his rules. I like that he's a lone operative.
If he's like 35 points, I'll add him on.
Yeah. If I can take a cheap lone operative, I will take a cheap lone operative.
Yes.
His rules don't actually excite me.
No.
He can't join, he can't be a warlord.
But he does need to be Rambo, if you want to like...
He is basically Rambo.
Kasrkin.
Kasrkin.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
They are different. They have Scout 6 now.
That's good.
They have a Guardsman profile with a 4-up save.
Cool.
And in your command phase, you can select one order to affect this unit. until the start of your next command phase, in addition to any other orders that you're receiving.
Got it.
So they essentially get a second order, and they don't even have to take up the order. They just choose one for themselves.
Seems
That
good.
is really nice. You could choose +3 move, or +1 ballistic skill, or +1 save. You could just choose every turn to be a +1 save unit.
It's good.
And just be like, hey, I'm a 3-up save. Cool. All good things here. So they get a bunch of weapons. Notably, the Hotshot Marksman Rifle is still AP2 damage 3 precision, but is only strength 4. The Hotshot Las Pistol and Las Gun are, once again, rapid fire 1, and they're AP 1.
Chad is pointing out that Sly Marbo has regiments. We can bring him back for 2 CP.
Fair call, chat. Fair call. Alright, no, you're right. You got me there. That is funny. That is funny.
Infinite Sly Marbos.
Woo!
It's one simple trick.
Oh, God. Alright. So, Kasrkin. They take a bunch of special weapons, basically.
Cool.
So, 4 Kasrkin can have a Hotshot Lasgun replaced with one of the following, with an asterisk of max of 2. And then you can also get a mine. You can also get a marksman rifle, and you can get a Voxcaster.
So you get like 2 melta-guns, 2 plasma rifles.
Or 2 hotshot volley guns.
Okay.
And then you have a sniper rifle, 4 dudes with las guns, and then a sergeant.
Okay.
They're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So, same Voxcasters everywhere else. Melta mine is once per battle at the start of a phase, any phase. Select an enemy unit within 3 inches of the bear and roll a d6. On a 2-up, d3 mortals. If they're a vehicle, 2 d3 mortals. That's cute, and I will take that.
Yep.
Because if someone charges me, bink.
Yep.
Or in my turn, I'll just run up to someone and go, bink, drop a line.
I mean, these guys are not going to be killing 3 Custodes Dreads in one activation.
No, they're not.
But they seem good.
Yeah, they're perfectly
I don't hate
fine.
them.
Yeah. Hopefully they're a little bit cheaper than before because they do much less. But it is a much better guard than the squad to skirmish around the table, the scout move, and get them cool orders.
Yeah.
I like them, but they're not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nothing abusive or broken here. This is just a nice, better guardsman unit. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
They don't need to be.
The Regimental Preacher.
Regimental Preacher. Huh. He gives his units melee sustained hits.
Oh, cool.
He gives his...
A reroll battle shock?
No. This model can reroll the hit roll in melee. Just him.
Wow. Okay.
I don't care what he can join.
Yeah, no, go away.
If he's 5 points, I'll recheck this. Until then, I don't care.
Yeah.
Harker, scout 6 inches, so we can join Catachan and scout with him.
Yep.
Feel no pain 6+. While let's see, each time a range attack targets that unit, if it's more than 12 away, -1 to hit. So his unit's -1 to hit from 12 inches. Not as good as untargetable, but still nice. And then when it's selected to shoot once per game, you get sustained hits 3 on his heavy bolter and make it 6 attacks. Normally it is 3 attacks, sustained hits 1. And
That's
it's just
cute.
a ballistic skill 3 heavy bolter.
Cool.
Yeah, if he's really cheap, we can talk about it. He isn't... Oh, no, he can issue 1 order.
Oh.
To a Catachan Jungle Fighters only, but fair enough. He can join Catachan Jungle Fighters. We know who Sergeant Harker is. Okay. The Engineer. Let's go through. He's just a generic 3-up save, 3 wound guardsman.
Cool.
He's T4. He's just the AdMech version.
Yeah. He is lone operative. He gets Super Saiyan if you kill a vehicle, whatever.
This one's good. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Militarum vehicle within 3 inches.
4-up invuln.
Regains up to D3 lost wounds and gets a 4-up invuln.
Wow, that's good.
I like him a lot.
Okay, cool.
And he gains lone operative. He's within 3 of a vehicle, so he just needs to be running around behind the vehicles.
Yeah. No, this guy's great.
Yep, I like the Regimental Engiseer a lot for just buffing up. Yeah, the Baneblade's best friend.
Oh, God.
Indeed, yes, that is 7 data sheets. Servitors. Honestly, man, they're ballistic skill 6. You can attach them to the dude. I don't care.
We don't take them. They're bad.
I'm just not going to read this data sheet.
Yeah. Commissar.
Commissar. He's an officer. He can only issue Duty and Honor and Fixed Bayonets.
Okay.
Duty and Honor is the +1 AOC.
Yep, and Fixed Bayonets
Battle Shock
is...
Bayonets is +1 upscale.
Okay,
so he gives 2 of the not amazing orders, but at least Duty and Honor is useful.
Yes.
So, what does he do? He's a 3-wound guardsman with a 5-up invuln.
We got a power sword.
Got a power sword. He's braver than other guardsmen. Cool. Sort of any phase, select 1 friendly Militarum unit that is battle shocked within 12 inches of this model. Infantry only. Kill a model, it's no longer battle shocked.
Cool.
And then, while another officer is in this unit, reroll a battle shock test.
Okay.
He himself doesn't have a rule to say he can join a unit even if there's a unit there. So he's just going to be the second guy in a guardsman squad.
Okay, I don't hate him if he's super cheap.
He's better be cheap, but his orders aren't super useful. I feel like I don't want to kill a guy for a battle shock test.
It's probably not worth it.
I probably don't care.
No, just
because like who's actually caring about battle shock enough that I want strats? I'll just pay CP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because none of the strats were things I wanted in infantry.
No.
Orgyn. I like Orgyn. Only a 5-up save, teeth 6, 3 wounds, 6 up feel no pain, but +1 AP when they target the closest eligible enemy unit. So let's actually look what their gun is. Because they're Militarum, they're not regimental, they can really only get orders from Lord Solar.
Okay.
But ballistic skill 4, 3 attacks at 5-1-2.
To go to 5-2-2.
Theoretically, you could go to 5-2-2, hitting on 3s if Lord Solar
shots. Okay.
That could be 6 shots, 5-2-2, hitting on 3s at close range.
You guys do hit kind of hard.
That is a very respectable amount of shooting. Like, just walk up and be like, 3 guys, 18 shots, hit on 3s, 5-2-2.
That seems good.
Yeah, like that. Honestly, like a unit, because I believe they're 3 to 6. A 6-man unit of these jumping at... No, not out of transport. Jumping out from behind a wall with +1 to
or
hit.
Walk. You can't walk about as Strategic Reserves. Jumping out from behind a wall.
Yep, with +1 to hit and doing the thing.
Cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Overall, I like Orgyn a lot. I hope they're cheap because they are not that durable, but they're funny durable, which is that they're high toughness with a small feel no pain and no save.
Yeah.
And so far, nothing has been able to join them.
No.
Which makes sense. A Bullgryn Squad. Same thing, 4-up armor, same feel no pain, -1 damage to a minimum of 1. Thank you for putting minimum 1 in there.
Why does this one have a minimum?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
You can either have a 4th wound or a 4-up invuln for their shield.
You take the 4-up
I think you want the invuln
here,
because they don't have the same good armor save of like a 2-up that they used to. They're not 4-up. But still, relatively tanky. Bullgryn Maul is basically the same in combat. 4 attacks at 7-1-2. And that's about it.
They have an okay gun.
They can choose to take the OK gun instead of the Maul. I will take the
you
combat.
take the Maul?
Yeah, you take them. If it's the same cost, you take them all.
Yes.
If it's 5 points more, I might take the Gauntlet, but we'll see. This is just like a nice, not terribly anything. Like, it's not that hard hitting. It is relatively tough. I think this is just a good skirmishing unit for guard if it's costed like that. If it's in like the 30 to 35 points of model range, I could totally get behind this. If it's more than that, probably not. If it's less than that, auto include.
Yep.
So overall, pretty useful. Doodle-doop. Ratling Snipers. Infiltrators, stealth, they make a normal move after they have shot. Only in your shooting phase, though, so it no longer works if they do Overwatch.
Okay.
And they can't declare charges. They are less useful than before in my mind, but it is still a unit with Infiltrate if you need that.
Yep, and their snipers are AP2 damage 2. It's good.
Yep. AP2 damage 2, heavy precision. It's a good sniper, ballistic skill 3.
Yep.
Theoretically, you could order them with Lord Solar, but I doubt you're going to want to.
Don't.
Yeah, don't. Rough Riders. Man, there are a lot of data sheets in guard. Oh, goodness. So, Rough Riders. They can ignore modifiers to move and advance and charge rolls, and they can fall back, shoot, and charge.
Cool.
2 wounds, T4, 4-up. Honestly, this is a unit that also really wants that +1 save order.
And they all have the Goad Lance.
They all have a Goad Lance. They all have a Hunting Lance.
Yeah.
1 per 5 can take a Goad Lance.
Got it.
And they all... No. Just one guy has the Power Saber. And the Power Saber is just 2 extra attacks at 401. Cool. So, this unit on the charge is going to either be D6 attacks each at 401 +1 to wound, or it's going to be 1 attack each at 94d6 +1 to wound.
These guys do hit kind of hard.
The Hunting Lance is the one you want. 1 attack each hurts. I think you need them to fix bayonets to the hit on 2s.
Yes.
But that could actually, like, very conceivably just go kill a tank.
Yep.
I don't think I think it's the only target that I actually want.
Yes.
I think they really want to go find your opponent's mid-sized battle tank and just pop it in combat, which is a very specific role, so I hope that these are cheap.
Yep.
Because they're mounted, so they don't really go through walls.
Yep.
Okay, we're getting to the fun ones.
Yay.
Scout Sentinels. Scout 9, very nice. Move 10. T7, 7 wounds, a 3-up save, so I lied, you don't actually want to give them +1 save.
No.
But that's still good. OC2, Regiment.
Oh, you can bring them back.
You can bring them back, and it's a squadron of up to 3. You can give them all of the normal Sentinel weapons, including a chainsaw and hunter killer missile. And since you're putting an identical unit in reserves, I believe those hunter killer missiles are coming back.
Oh, they do.
They sure do.
They sure do.
Here's the important part. Daring Recon. Select one enemy unit within 18 inches visible to this unit. Each time an Astra Militarum model makes an attack that targets that unit, reroll a hit roll of 1, and if you have indirect fire, it does not suffer a penalty to the hit roll. This is the first instance of a reroll the hit that I've seen, which makes me think that Scout Sentinels are literally mandatory.
Yep.
Because they get to use their rule in the shooting phase, I'll be sad I won't have an order. I'm willing to bring them back from reserves because they will come back in time to use their rule.
Yes.
I think Scout Sentinels are very, very good.
Yeah, 100%.
I doubt that they're costed so much that I don't want to take them.
You also get 3 las cannons or whatever.
And 300 killer missiles.
Yeah.
And it's all a bunch of ballistic skill 4 guard weapons that you'd expect.
Sure.
Cool, sure, we all know what that is. Sentinel Chainsaw is a little bit worse. It's AP 1 damage 1 instead of AP 2 damage 2. That breaks my heart, honestly. I really like the damage dope. But still, Daring Recon, great rule. This is what you need to make your guns work.
Yes.
Regimental, the keyword you need to make your units work.
Wow.
Scout Sentinels are very good.
These guys are awesome.
I love them. Armored Sentinels, T8, 2-up save.
Oh, these guys are chunky.
These are very thick.
Yeah.
Only an 8-inch move instead of 10. No scout move. Still deadly demise 1. Still regiment. They're less support. They're a lot thicker. Here's their rule. Each time you make an attack, melee or shooting, that targets a monster vehicle, reroll the wound.
That's good.
That is a very good thing because a lot of these weapons, there's not a lot of rerolls in guard.
No.
So far. And so I really, really like mobile hunter killers. I really, really like Daring Recon. These two, both of these units look good. We'll see which one is priced appropriately. Presumably the scout is slightly cheaper than the armor because that's tradition. But either way, both of these have a lot of appeal to me.
Yes.
Hellhound. Pick an enemy unit after you've shot it and you ignore cover against it for the rest of your army. This sounds very good. It's just a unit that was hit by one or more of those attacks. So fun fact, you could just take a heavy flamer or a heavy bolter. You could just take a heavy bolter and be like, that guy, he's the one that's the one I want to ignore cover against. Anyway, let's also flame something.
We got a $5 super chat from Fightin' Dice. GSE plus Scout Sentinel plus Basilisk equals Yum. Yeah, that sounds real good.
Was there an ally rule in here? What page are we on? Page 65. Was there an ally rule in here for Brood Brothers that I missed? Or is that going to be in Gene's Third Cult?
We don't know the GSE rules yet.
Exactly. So if Battle Brothers still exists, Brood Brothers I should say, it would probably be in Gene's Third Cult.
Yes.
I don't remember if they previewed it or not, so we will talk about that as soon as Gene's Third Cult gets some rules, which you would expect it to be sometime this week.
Yes.
So, yeah, that would be very yummy in Gene's Third Cult, since the Scout Sentinel and the Basilisk, none of that requires anything special.
Chat says that Battle Brothers is in the GSC preview.
Oh, perfect. All right, cool. But that is still, yeah, that would be a really fun combo, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd be all about that.
The Rogal Dorn Battle Tank.
Boop, 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 boop. So the Rogal Dorn Battle Tank. This guy's kind of cool.
Yeah.
10-inch move, T12, 2-up save, 18 wounds. Gained a wound. He used to be T9, so T12 is actually on the lower end of what could have happened here.
Yes.
This is still fine. Yeah. T12 is still good. Move 10 is nice. Deadly demise D6. Here's the thing. Once per battle, you can change the damage characteristic of an attack that was allocated to him to 0. When an attack is allocated to this model...
Before you make the save.
Before you take the save.
Yep.
So, that's a little bit annoying. I really wish that it was after you took the save. Still very good if someone tries to tank hunt you with just like, a hammerhead or a volcano lance or whatever big gun is going to have a high damage characteristic that you can see coming a mile away. This is nice, but I really wish it was after the save. It comes with a bunch of the weapons. The Oppressor Cannon and the Pulverizer Cannon are the interesting ones, as well as the Twin Battle Cannon. So the Oppressor Cannon is the default option. It's now D6 plus 3, ballistic skill 4 at 12, 2, 3, which is good, but I think I like the Twin Battle Cannon more now, so this is why I'm magnetized, because it is D6 plus 3 attacks, same number of attacks, 4, 10, 1, 3, so minus 2 strength, minus 1 AP, twin linked.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's way better.
Without rerolls, I really like
twin linked. Yeah.
Not the strength 12 isn't good, AP 2 is good, but I think we can buff the AP enough that I'll take the battle cannon here. The Pulverizer Cannon is just another gun at a 9.33. This is actually like a really good profile for just like a little hole-mounted gun. Super Baharoth is hitting us with a super chat. $5. Infinite Sentinels and indirect, hitting on 2s, rolling 1s with a single order and Sentinels feels awfully good. Hopefully Flash gets of indirect. You know, if anyone was going to have indirect, you would think it would be Flash gets Super Baharoth, so hopefully that is the case.
The snaz guns, well-known indirect guns.
Well known.
Yeah.
You point them up.
Yeah.
And then they just snaz bullets all over
So
you.
snazzy.
Yeah, it's snaz in time.
Yep. It's snaz in time.
Broke him. All right. Overall, the Dorn is honestly not as interesting as I'd like.
Yeah, no. It seems
if it's priced appropriately, like if it's priced cheap, we'll take it. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah.
All right. Heavy weapon teams. Oh god, we're not even at the Russes yet. Each time you target this unit with Fire Overwatch, when resolving the stratagem, you hit on a 5+. Or if you're within 6 inches of a friendly platoon unit, then it's a 4+.
Cool. You can take generic guard weapons.
You can take all of the generic weapons. I still like the mortars for indirect because these things will never last a second in line of sight.
No.
Honestly.
They're cool, though.
They are cool, and I like that. And all of its ballistic skill 5 and heavy.
Cool. Whatever.
And that's just the truth of it. So, that's it. But I like that it's an infantry unit with an indirect gun to proximity stratagems.
Yes.
The Field Ordnance Battery. No characters here, as with a lot of these totally not infantry units, although this is actually infantry and artillery.
That's hilarious.
While this unit is being affected by an order, provided it remains stationary, gains at sustained hits 1. What's so painful is that this is the first unit I wanted to put the Master of Ordnance on, and it's just the same buff. So if you remain stationary, you get sustained hits 1 and lethal hits in this detachment. Now you've got 3 choices of weapons. They're all ballistic skill 5. Heavy, but the indirect gun is 7-1-2, so if you give it ignore indirect and a +1 to hit, it could hit on 3s if it held still.
Sustained hits.
With sustained hits 1, lethal hits 1.
I like
Only
this
AP
thing.
1, but if you can figure out a way to ignore cover as well, that's actually quite good.
This thing is also gigantinormous.
It is.
They're like this big. It's hilarious.
It's basically the size of an Arbiter.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind.
The Malleus rocket pod is unfortunately not indirect, which makes me very not care about it. The Heavy Las Cannon is awesome. 2 shots, strength 14, AP 3, D6 +1, but it's ballistic skill 5 and heavy.
Cool.
So sustained hits 1 is awesome, but it's ballistic skill 5 and heavy. And on defense, this thing is T5 with a 4-up save, 6 wounds.
Yeah,
it's not nothing. I would love to order this unit to get +1 save and hope that it can last against anything. But like, man,
I feel like
if
some
you
heavy
don't,
bolters are just going to kill this thing.
That's the problem, is that if you don't have a range advantage on your opponent, they're just going to shoot back, and you just don't know enlist design. Am I going to play against someone who brought heavy bolters or someone who didn't bring heavy bolters?
Yeah, we played World Eaters. This thing's amazing.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
this thing would tear every rhino off the board in a second.
I know,
awesome, but it's not really a guarantee.
Yeah,
we're on to the Russ.
The LRBT.
Let's cover the Russ. OC3, T11, 2-up save, move 10, 13 wounds. This is basically the same everywhere we go.
Yes.
Let's just talk about the weapon and the rule. The rule, reroll a hit roll of 1.
Okay.
If you target a unit on an objective marker, reroll the hit.
Seems good.
I like that a lot because it's not just the gun, it's also any sponsons you happen to bring.
Yes.
You can take all the sponson weapons you'd expect. The battle cannon is what we talked about in the tank commander.
Cool.
I think this is very good only because AP1 gets better sometimes.
Yes.
And that makes me like it, and also reroll hits.
It's good.
Very good with all this. Ballistic skill 4, yeah, you can make a ballistic skill 3, but here's the thing. Only the tank commander and Leontus issue orders to vehicles.
Yes.
Only them. Which means at most, and sure, you could take 3 tank commanders, but at most you're taking Leontus and like 2 tank commanders, and I don't even think you're doing that. No. And Leontus issues orders 6 inches.
Ooh, yeah, no.
Like, I don't think your battle tanks are getting orders all the time.
No.
So you just got to be ready for that, and I really like reroll hits because of that. Still, pretty solid foundation unit here. Usually not the most expensive. The Demolisher. Demolisher cannon is real good. D6 +3, more shots. 14 -3 D6.
Seems real good.
Only 24, but that is a good gun.
Yes.
When making range attacks, it can target enemy units within engagement range of it, provided no other enemy units are also within engagement range of that
So
enemy
it's a
unit.
Vindicator.
And, yeah, basically. And it doesn't suffer the penalty to its hit roll for being in engagement range. So it's at least always hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
Or almost.
Yeah.
This is very good as well. I like the Demolisher. Again, whichever one of these is priced most appropriately is the one I'm going to take, but so far, 2 ones that I'm interested in. The Vanquisher.
Yep.
Reroll the wound roll against monsters or vehicles.
Vanquisher Battle Cannon is 1 shot, heavy, hitting on 4, strength 18, AP 4, D6 plus 6, pass.
Pass.
Hard pass.
I don't need reroll wounds on the strength 18 gun.
Hits on 4s, no rerolls. That's the sad part.
Nope.
It doesn't ignore invulns.
If they make this thing the cheapest one, I will look at it.
Yeah.
If it is not the literal cheapest one, absolutely not.
Nope.
The Punisher.
Yep.
Dev wounds against not monsters and vehicles.
So mounted or infantry or beasts or whatever.
Not bad.
I like that.
And then the Punisher cannon
is 20 shots, hitting on 4, strength 6, AP 0, damage 1. Very good at anti-infantry killing, but that's about it.
I would rather just have a battle cannon.
I agree.
Just like, if I really need to shred infantry, I'm probably getting blast, and then I'll take a good strength and AP,
Yeah.
and I'll just shoot las guns at them. I don't
All
know.
the heavy
Like,
bolters
someone
on the
will
other-
find some way to kill this infantry squad.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yep.
Okay.
Executioner.
Interesting. +1 to hit against enemies below half strength. I hate that part.
Yeah, it's not great.
But the Executioner Plasma Cannon, pretty good, and I actually kind of want it on like a big guy, like a commander. Hazardous at 833 D6 plus 3 ballistic skill 4. So not
Your
bad.
officer
I like
kills
the
itself,
AP.
Can you shoot?
Yes. But also like you'd have to be at 3 wounds and then overcharge. But still, I like the Executioner Plasma Cannon. I don't love the Executioner rule, so I think I actually want the Plasma Cannon on a tank commander.
Yes.
Interestingly enough. Now we do have a super chat here from Mithra Blade 04 with a very excellent point. If Leontus is in a command squad, it issues orders 24 inches. You are 100% correct, and that is actually a really, really good point.
Oh, because you can take Leontus and a command squad in an
infantry unit.
Got it. Okay.
Then you wouldn't have a Primaris Psyker.
Which is a little sad.
Which is really what I wanted.
Yeah.
But that is a great point, Mithra Blade. So thank you for that, and thank you for the super chat, and agreed that does make some of the vehicles a lot more appealing.
Yes.
Now, the Exterminator is the autocannon guy. He's the one you've never seen in your life. He is much improved.
I didn't know he was a thing.
Exactly. Select an enemy that was hit by the Exterminator autocannon. Until the rest of the phase, all Astra Militarum improves their AP by 1 against that.
Wow, that's really good.
It's really good. Its gun is 4 attacks, ballistic skill 4, 913, twin linked, and rapid fire 4.
That's a good gun.
This guy's great.
Yes.
So at 24 inches, it's 8 shots, full rerolls to wound at 913.
I like this guy.
I like the Exterminator a lot. I think this one and the Lehman Russ regular are the most appealing that we've seen so far.
Yes.
Although the Demolisher is
also
interesting
yes.
if the points allow.
Yes.
Okay. The Eradicator. This is the guy who's supposed to be the ignore cover version.
Okay.
So, D3 plus 6 at 712 ignore cover.
Just take a Demolisher
Just
cannon.
take a Demolisher cannon.
Or a battle cannon.
Or a battle cannon and find some extra
whatever.
AP. Ignore cover is nice. It's not this nice. And then when making range attacks with the Eradicator Nova Cannon, it basically has the Vindicator roll, the exact same roll as Demolisher.
Cool.
So it's really weird to me that they made 7 Lehman Russ and 2 of them had the same roll.
Yep.
I don't know why, but at least they got a different weapon. And Jordan Petit, welcome to the War Room Bronze. We appreciate you. We made it through the rest.
Yay!
All right, the Basilisk.
Oh no.
T9, 11 wounds, 3 up save, so
Cool.
slightly lower toughness than some of the other things. Cool. Here's the big thing. The Earthshaker is heavy, ballistic skill 4, D6 plus 3, 822, blast and direct fire.
Don't forget that 24-inch range, 240 inch
240
range.
So if you get it to ignore the blast penalty, it'll hit on 3s.
Yes.
If you gave it an order first, it'll hit on 2s.
Oh god.
If the Scout Sentinel that gave it ignore indirect fire is also doing the thing, that's also reroll 1s. Now, what helps here, I think, is that you're not going to get that ignore indirect and reroll 1s unless it's something that someone can see.
Yes.
So your indirect getting shot by a Basilisk, it's hitting on probably 3s.
Yes.
But if you put something in the middle, indirect hits you on 2s rolling 1s.
That's still really good,
Still really good. The Basilisk is quite good. And pick an enemy unit that was hit by its infantry. That is hit by it, it's -2 move advance charge.
That's good.
So the Basilisk, very strong in my mind. It's a unit of 1, but it is squadron. So max of 3 now. You can't squadron them literally, but it has the keyword for the rules.
Okay.
All right. The Hydra. I don't like this guy at all.
4
shots,
anti-fly,
twin linked,
twin
anti-fly
linked.
2+.
He's good into flyers, I guess.
Man, this thing is so much... Yeah, sure, it's good into flyers, but you're anti-fly 2+ twin linked.
Oh, what?
How many actual I wound better, but I hit on a 4 rules do you need? Because it's just ballistic skill 4. Doesn't ignore hit mods. Doesn't have heavy. What am I doing here?
Okay, cool.
And yeah, each time you make an attack that targets fly, you can reroll the hit. If this thing is not Omega cheap, hard pass. Honestly.
We got a $2 super chat from Absolutely Wasted Lord Solar.
Woo! Absolutely Wasted Lord Solar. Welcome back. My horsey's got kicks. Who wants to
beer pong with
the Bullgryn? Oh, thank you, Postmaster General Lord Solar. We appreciate, Absolutely Wasted Lord Solar. We appreciate you being in the chat with us today.
Okay, cool.
Thank you for your wonderful name.
Yes.
So these Manticores. Another good indirect tank. Toughness 10, not 9. It's better than the Basilisk at that because it's a little bit more enclosed, where the Basilisk is a little open.
Yep.
Whatever. It's indirect. Here's the rule. Reroll the hit roll if you target an enemy unit that contains 5 more models.
Is this thing blast?
Of course it is.
Oh, God.
I love rerolling hit rolls.
That's...
Anywhere I can get it, and it's hard to get, I like it a lot. Now, what does this gun do? First of all, you no longer need to count the number of shots it's made, it just gets to shoot. D6 plus 1, blast, heavy, indirect, ballistic skill 4, 10, 2, 3. So blast, obviously good. So into a 5-man, you get plus 1 attack and reroll the hit. And then also, you can do the same combo as the Basilisk. Order, plus 1 ballistic skill, hold still, ignore the indirect penalty of the Scout Sentinel, reroll 1s to hit, sitting on 2s, rolling 1s. But you don't need that as much because you can reroll the hit roll.
You know, why would GW give an indirect penalty of -1 to hit, and then give every indirect gun +1 to hit for existing? It's not like you need to move to get range. Your range is longer than your table and your opponent's table combined.
I like Manticores a lot. I think Manticores are better than Basilisks.
I think they are too.
But we'll see how the points weigh out. But still, same AP, higher strength, higher damage, 2 less shots, can reroll hits into certain targets.
Yeah, these things are really good.
The strength is important to me because a Basilisk isn't an anti-vehicle piece. It's strength 8.
It's a good Marine killer.
It's a good Marine killer.
It's a good Desolator killer.
It's a great Desolator killer. But I like a Manticore.
Yes.
Yes, it is 4 rockets and you can shoot 5. But I'm only going to let you complain about that on turn 5. You can't do it until then. The Wyvern. Pick an enemy unit that you hit that wasn't a vehicle or monster after you shoot with it, blah, 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 blah.
-1
to hit.
Cool, whatever.
Cool. Yeah, we've seen
gun
this before.
is bad.
Gun is not good. It's 2d6 shots, blast, heavy, ignores cover, indirect fire, twin linked. Every possible rule under the sun, but it's still...
Strength 5, AP 0
Strength 5, AP 0 damage, 1... Stop. I don't care.
No, okay, cool.
Great. Let's get that out of there.
The Death Strike.
Oh, the Heartbreaker.
So you still have to, like, spend a full turn to, like, put a marker down and say, next turn I'm going to shoot the Death Strike here.
Yeah.
And the sad part, 2d6 shots, hitting on 2, strength 16, AP 4, damage 1.
No, it's not devastating wounds, it's 1 shot. The Death Strike is... Again, unless it is Omega cheap, it's not good.
I mean,
and I hate that.
If it's like 55 points, you take 3 of them and you hit that objective 1 turn. It kills like 3 Space Marines on average. It does hit everything within 6 inches, but you shoot it once.
Yeah, but the Death Strike having to roll the hit, taking a hit penalty, because it's also, to be clear, not indirect fire, but I guess it just uses its own rule. Yeah. But still, it's 2d6 shots at a damage 1. Yeah, End of the day, this thing isn't
not great.
Good. It is so unlikely that it kills an Intercessor squad.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It kills like 3 on average.
Not even.
If you're in cover, like 2.5.
Kills like 2.5 on average. Like, we're good. I'm done. No.
Look at the missiles the size of a tank and it kills like 2 dudes.
The Death Strike got murdered and that's okay apparently. Chimera. T9, so it's one of the smaller guard vehicles. Alright. Officers inside can issue orders even though they're not on the battlefield. Measure distance to and from the transport. That is nice.
Yes.
It's firing deck 2. That's
nice.
Rhinos. Like some rhinos. The Chimera is actually quite nice because it lets you protect officers a little bit.
Yeah.
I think this is very valuable. Mm-hmm. That's it. It has all the weapons you'd expect. It still has a las array, I think.
Las gun array.
Las gun array. Yeah, it is las gun array.
Cool.
Great. Does it come with 1 or 2? Just 1. Great. It comes with all the weapon options you'd expect. I am totally fine with the Chimera as being just a nice, useful transport.
Yep.
It is weird that it's T9 when the other Chimera variants are T10. I don't understand that. I think that was just a balanced choice, not a real thing. Now let's get to the Torox. T8, 12-inch move. No... Oh, Chimera's only 10. Oh, sad. Okay. So the Torox is faster because they slow down the Chimera. T8, it's not as tough. 10 wounds, 1 less wound. Here's the thing. You can advance and get out of it instead of normal move and get out of it.
How many guys does this hold?
I think it holds 12.
Okay.
Chimera holds 12.
Okay.
Same thing there. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
I'm not really excited about it advance and then get out.
Yeah.
It's D6 extra inches of me plopping a guardsman down, but then this thing doesn't get to shoot.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
It honestly might be better than a Chimera if you're not putting an officer in. Because it's 2 inches faster and then you advance and shoot, so if you're just trying to do a contest play.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad. But I'm not hyper excited about it.
No, just don't. Cool.
All right.
The Valkyrie.
Things I'm excited about. All right. T10.
Okay.
14 wounds.
2 up
save.
So this thing is chunk.
OC 0.
It does hover.
However, it is not squadron. Lord Solar, I am not joking, could order it to be +1 OC.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Gentlemen, we got him.
The Valkyrie can desk play. They never see it coming.
They never saw it coming.
Never see it coming.
Yep.
Wow, so let's...
All right. At the end of your opponent's movement phase. Opponent's movement phase. One or more enemy units embarked within it can disembark, provided every one of those units has the deep strike rule. So at the end of your opponent's movement phase, you can choose to get the guardsmen out.
What?
I cannot possibly imagine this scenario where that is better than me just getting out in my turn.
Okay, no. If your Valkyrie's about to get blown up and you don't want to make the rolls for the guys dying, you can... I don't know. It's not a good rule. This is a very bad rule.
They could be there in the command phase when you give orders.
I guess.
But, like...
Why?
What are we doing?
It's a terrible rule.
It's not...
It's got, what, like one heavy bolter and a las cannon or something?
It has Hellstrike missiles, which is
Sure.
one shot at...
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope this thing's cheap.
The defense here and it being a transport is cool.
Yeah.
This rule may not stop it from being good, but the rule itself is literally worthless.
It does nothing.
This is honestly the most offensive rule I have seen.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, that's...
It's so...
Wow.
Like, what? Why? Why would I want that? Rapid ingress, useful. You can go into a spot your opponent hasn't thought of after they've moved, out of line of sight. But the Valkyrie's already there.
Yeah, they know it's there. Okay.
Yeah, so that your opponent can kill the guys inside their ship.
They leave the safety of their durable troops.
Alright, we're done.
The
Aegis defense line, you can shoot it now.
Okay.
T12, 2 up save, 10 wounds. OC 0. It is Astra Militarum. Lord Solar can order it to be OC 1. We got him again. We got him again. Come on. We got him again.
No one expects the Aegis defense line. No.
It's like, yeah, no one's on the objective. Well, the Aegis says, who's OC 0, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. However, it does actually have cool rules. So even though it's a model, friendly Astra Militarum infantry can be set up or end any type of move on top of it.
Okay. So
Each time a ranged attack is allocated to a model, if that model is not fully visible to every model in the attacking unit, it gains benefit of cover. So cool, it just gives cover.
Cool.
While an infantry model has benefit of cover as a result of its terrain feature, 4 up invul.
Okay, that's useful.
Yeah,
that is useful.
That is how I keep a unit alive without a Primaris Psyker.
Yep.
Also, don't have to roll a 2 up.
Suddenly don't hit this thing.
While an enemy unit is only within engagement range of 1 or more fortifications, it can still be selected as the target.
You can fight it.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how you charge the guys inside, because this is a model. I think you have to charge the Aegis, because you can't... Enemy, like nothing besides an Astra Militarum infantry can be set up on top of this.
That's hilarious.
It's a model. You can't end on top of it.
That's so funny.
So I think they actually have to kill the Aegis defense line before they can charge the guys inside. And it move blocks insanely well. Not only that, the Aegis defense line is a model, and it is insanely easy to deploy one corner of it behind a wall so that it gets cover.
Can I use the old Aegis defense line model that I have? Where it's like
no, you gotta use the new one.
Oh.
This thing is probably more points than it is now.
Yes.
Because this is insanely good.
That's really good.
It doesn't make attacks, but like
that's pretty funny.
What it is.
That's
like,
really funny.
I think this thing's hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, I am so sorry to everyone at home. No, it's movement dash, so you can't advance it. Never mind. I was about to say. However, if you engage it, I can pile and consolidate. It can also declare charges. If I declare a charge with an Aegis defense line while there are guys inside, what happens, Quinton?
This is 7th edition Geomancy. Let's go.
Like, why can't it declare charges?
Can you order it to get +3 movement?
It doesn't have a movement characteristic, so
Okay.
I can't advance it or order it to be better because I can't add it to anything.
That's so funny.
But I can order it to be OC1, and I can charge with it. All right, chat. I'm so sorry for bringing that up. Let's just assume that all of the things that let an Aegis move are gone.
Yes.
Immediately. That has to be gone on Friday.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. However, I hope that the OC part of it goes down from 0 to dash.
Yes.
So that you can't add to it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get that all gone. I don't even hate the fact that, like, you can, like, put guardsmen on it and they can't be charged. Because you can charge the
You can
tank.
also just shoot it, right? Like, it's not that
It's
durable. It's not anything.
Fragile, but it is a 12
Also,
wound
like, let's be
T10.
real. The thing you're putting on here is guardsmen, right? They're not, like, the world is not ending.
Exactly, yeah. Only guardsmen are going on this. This isn't fundamentally...
It's also not huge, right? It's, like, this big.
No, it's actually huge.
What?
It's very...
Oh, God.
Yeah, the Aegis Defense one's actually pretty big.
Okay.
With that said, I see no reason... once you think of it as a weirdly shaped transport with firing deck, except you can shoot the guys inside, it's not actually that good.
No, it's not.
It's just a very big transport that doesn't...
I mean, if it's like 30 points.
Can it be ordered to take cover? Already has a 2-up save.
Also, your tanks can drive over it because it's a
Could you put it in reserves with redeploy from Leontus? You could put it in reserves normally. Like, why wait for Leontus?
So it can show up. Because you place it within 6 inches, it doesn't walk on, right?
Yeah, you place it and then you outflank the infantry on top of it, obviously. Yeah, there are no rules for fortifications in the core book. They just have their own.
You can overwatch this thing when it shows up from reserve.
Why does the wall have a leadership?
Oh, it does.
I don't know, man. All right, we're done with that.
The Baneblade.
The Baneblades are very similar.
You can give it a Forpin. No, the Baneblade. Give the Baneblade a Forpin.
Oh, no, only infantry get a Forpin.
No.
Oh, yeah,
from
yeah.
the Engineer.
Yeah, the Engineer. Yeah, that's cool.
Toughness 13, 2-up save, 24 wounds. So it is a rolling fortress.
OC
It literally has the rolling fortress.
Movement 9. It's great. Each one of these has an assortment of heavy bolters and flamers and las cannons and stubbers and things. Cool.
And then
the Baneblade gets a demolisher cannon.
Okay.
And its main gun.
Okay.
Its main gun's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
3d6 at 12, 2, 3.
Cool.
2 is sad, but blast is nice. You can give it all the orders. It's actually not squadron, so only Leontus is giving it orders. Okay. Each submarine stack is allocated to an Militarum model. If that model is not fully visible because of the thing, then it gets benefit of cover. Cool. All right, that's a Baneblade.
The Bane
Hammer. Same stat line. Tremor cannon. Nothing else interesting. Just an assortment of stuff. All of these are like Deadly Demise a lot. This is firing deck 12.
That is good.
After selecting a target for this model's tremor cannon, the target unit and every other enemy infantry unit within 3 inches of that unit take a battle shock test.
What can this thing hold?
26 Militarum infantry. Heavy weapon teams take up space for 2. Yes, you could just put 9 mortars in this.
Or
then order it to be +1 ballistic skill, and it just holds still and is just 9 mortars hitting on 3s coming out the butt.
That seems good.
Yeah, it's actually pretty solid.
Or like 9 las cannons.
The 9 las cannons is actually what I like.
Yeah.
It just holds infantry.
Yeah. Could put Orgyn in there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Cannot transport artillery. Never mind. I was looking. I was like, surely. Okay, no, we're good.
Just put the redemptor bases in there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I don't hate this thing.
All right, it's perfectly fine. Let's actually root of the tremor cannon does. Sorry.
2d6 plus 3 shots, hitting on 4, shooting 12 AB2 damage too. It's a
slightly worse Baneblade cannon.
Yeah, but it does make take battle shock, and it has a transport. Okay. Yeah. Cool. It's a big tank.
All right, the Bane Sword. This is funny.
Yeah.
It comes with the Quake Cannon. Nothing else. Doesn't transport. Cool. Each time an attack made with this weapon destroys an enemy model that has Deadly Demise, activates on a 3+ instead of a 6.
That is really funny.
It is very funny.
And the Baneblade mirror.
Oh, if this thing shoots your Baneblade with its D6 plus 6, 16 minus 4, 4, if this kills your Baneblade and it explodes, D6 plus 2 everywhere.
This is really good into like knights.
It is very good in specific situations, yeah. Very funny.
That is really funny.
Okay. The Doom Hammer. Magma Cannon targets a monster or vehicle, always considered to be within half range. I don't know what else you're going to need the Melter Rule into besides monsters and vehicles, because this thing is 24 inches of D6 plus 3, 4 plus, 12, 4, D6, melt to 6.
I don't like this thing.
Not at all.
No, it's bad. Don't take the Doom Hammer.
Don't take the Doom Hammer. Transport, firing deck 12, 26 Militarum models.
I would rather have the Tremor Cannon guy.
Hellhammer.
Same
stat line. This one does come with a Demolisher Cannon as well as a Hellhammer Cannon and
4d6 shots. Wow, that's bad.
712. I don't want AP1 on a thing.
Yeah, I don't take this.
Doesn't suffer penalty to hit rolls for being in engagement range.
Sure.
Okay.
Stop transport. Shadow Sword.
The big gun.
Devastating wounds against monsters and vehicles.
D3 plus 1 shots.
Okay.
24 minus 5,
12.
It does its thing.
It really does.
It does its thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, okay.
Good for it.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Sure kills build things real well.
Stormlord. Firing deck 24 holds 40 Astra Militarum infantry.
What?
That's how many it holds.
You can really put a lot of last cannons in this thing. Okay, cool. What does it do?
Woo! Okay, what does it do? What a good question.
20 shots, hitting on 4, string 6, AP 1, damage 2, sustain hits 1. Fine.
Yep. Just a Vulcan Megabolter. Just 20 shots. That's not twin-linked.
Nope.
If this was twin-linked, I'd be mildly interested in it.
Yeah, it's
not twin-linked, I don't care.
The one I like is the first one with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the first one with firing deck and also is still a good gun. The Storm Sword, not firing deck. After selecting a target, roll a d6 for the target unit and every unit within 3 inches of it. On a 5+, that unit is being struck by concussive range. D3 mortals.
Yeah,
5 up D3 mortals? Come on.
Its gun is good, though. D6 plus 6 shots, string 16, AP 4, D6 plus 2. That's
solid.
That's pretty solid.
48 I like.
Yeah.
Concussive wave makes me sad.
Yeah.
And we're done. Scions. Why is the Volcano Cannon blast and not beam? It should be both.
Yeah, who knows?
The Scion Squad. Scions are a guardsman with ballistic save 4+.
Cool.
1 OC, and they're usually ballistic skill 3.
And they have deep strike.
I think a deep strike.
This Impester Prime gives you sustained hits 1. Woo!
Woo! He can issue an order to a regiment unit.
Okay, they're the same as a command squad.
If there's a command rod, then the unit can be affected by 2 orders at the same time, but he himself only issues 1. Why? They can deep strike and then not receive orders. Moving on. All the weapons you'd expect.
Can you take a 5-man Scion squad?
Yep.
So they may be good for mission play?
Yeah. And then reroll a hit roll of 1 if they target an enemy on an objective reroll hit. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
You can get this unit 10 guys plus a command squad. It's like 16 dudes. Or I guess 15 because they can... 2 leaders as long as only one of them is a command squad. Okay. But most of the leaders can join them. So this could be like a Primaris Psyker or something.
Okay.
Anyways, you get like 15 dudes. Full rerolls to hit, sustained hits 1, and no orders. Deep strike and shoot something.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting.
I just take 5 and do missions.
It's probably what's going to happen.
Take like 3x5.
They're just teleport home for
They battle line? Nope.
Nope. But you can take up to 2 per 5 can have a weapon, but each weapon has to be different.
Sure.
So basically in a 15-man, you're going to have 3 plasma guns, 3 melta guns. Sustained hits, 1 full rerolls to hit. It's cute.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Thorax Prime is a Torox. But it's ballistic skill 3.
After you get out of it.
Which still stops you from getting a...
orders.
Getting an order.
But your dudes are 4 rolls to hit, 4 rolls to wound.
You could drive this up, get a unit out, shoot an enemy on objective, and get 4 rolls to hit and wound. And that's kind of cool.
Okay, I don't hate that.
If it's... Honestly, the science stuff comes down to price. It's not that exciting, but if it's semi-cheap, I'll play it. Very, very simple. What can it hold? Militarum Tempestus or Astra Militarum Infantry characters. So you can't put, like, Scions in this. Okay. Or, sorry, you can't put, like, Kasrkin or regular guardsmen, just Scions and the characters that join them.
Okay.
It's guns, because it has more than a Torox. It comes with a missile launcher that has a Strength 8 frag missile. Don't know why.
Why? What?
I feel like that's a typo.
That's gotta be a typo.
But, or a 2-shot crack missile. It's just a Cyclone missile launcher that's Strength 8.
The Spanish version of the Malignify has a 21 D6 shotgun.
That's fine. The German Screamer Killer is higher toughness, less ones.
Yeah.
The Torox Gatling Cannon is 12 shots at AP dash.
Sure.
Don't care.
Nope.
The Battle Cannon is D6 blast shots at 812. Not super excited by that.
Awesome.
That's it.
Cool.
All right.
Sure is.
Here's the armory.
Yay.
And we're done.
Yay.
All right. I apologize to all the guard players that I might have tried to speed run a little bit through some of those data sheets. Boy, that was a lot.
Yeah, this is
I tried to go as fast as I could, but boy, that was a lot.
Somehow this is only half the length of the Space Marine one.
Yeah, but, that was like a 3-hour video. There's a lot of Astra Militarum units in Imperial armor. So we'll find out... Alright, so loading. Come on. So we'll find out more about those and the points later.
Yep.
Here's my takeaways. I like big infantry squads only.
Yep.
Because your officers need to be there for you to play the game.
Yep.
And if you lose your officers, you kind of stop doing anything.
Yep.
The problem is that you can only attach officers to guardsmen. And if someone finds a way to kill those guardsmen, they can kill the officers.
The cool thing is the guardsmen are not that hard to kill.
The guardsmen are not that hard to kill.
They're just guardsmen.
So I think honestly, I'm really feeling like you need to have an Aegis defense line in your backfield with Lord Solar and some guys. And it's like, oh, I don't need to kill the Aegis defense line. There's Sentinels and like Russ and things. And then they get there and they're like, wow, I can't move through this. And then you get one extra shooting phase that they weren't planning on. Your indirect lives a little bit longer. Lord Solar's unit doesn't actually die to shooting that fast because I think you go 20-man, Death Cork so you can heal dudes, Command Squad to make the orders work, Lord Solar, that's expensive. Then you need a tenor of like more Kriegsmen and like a Primaris Psyker and Creed. Yeah. And that's how you get your stuff to work. None of that wants to go upfield.
Then we're paying for 40 guardsmen, whatever they cost. Probably, 6, 7.
Probably, like 5, 6, 7 points model.
Whatever guardsmen cost. Then Creed and 2 command squads and a Primaris Psyker and an Aegis defense line and Lord Solar, and we haven't done anything. We're just support characters.
Yep. From that point, I think you just take vehicles with guns.
Yep.
Because there is no real credible way here to make
depending on points, would be 3x5 Scions.
Yeah.
They just deep strike and they're like, behind enemy line, teleport homeward, whatever.
Yep. Here's a very quick question that I have, actually. This is going to tie into the Agents review later. Can I be joined by 2 Astra Militarum characters or 2 characters? Because if I can get an Inquisitor in here, 2 leaders, provided no more than one of those is a command squad. So I could do Creed, 10 Idiots, and Draxus.
That sounds good.
And then that unit's hard to shoot.
Yes.
Okay. I like that.
Yes.
I think Guard Artillery is going to hit obscenely hard.
Yeah, I think you take...
I think Guard Tanks are going to hit
I think you take
hard.
3 Manticores, 3 Wyvern, or 3 Basilisks, and then whatever Forge World indirect is good. If there's any that's good.
And 6 Scout Sentinels.
Yeah, probably. And those Scout Sentinels just come back every turn.
Yeah. And you just recycle the Scout Sentinels. That is very good, because Creed can do regimental reinforcements on 2 units, because one gets it for 2 CP, one gets it for free with Creed. Yeah. Put her within range 12 inches of both. First one that dies, you spend CP. Second one, free.
Guard seem like they are putting out an unholy amount of indirect shots.
Yeah, I think that Guard is going to end up being very one-dimensional, but that one dimension is going to be good.
Yes.
So I really hope that points allow Scions to be a unit you want to take, because Scions somehow are the highest damaging I can make an infantry unit, I think. So I really am hoping that we can...
They seem interesting.
Scions are interesting. I worry they don't hit hard enough, but if they're cheap enough, it's totally fine.
Yep.
And then just have some skirmishing stuff. And you just assume your opponent gets 20 points for bringing it down every game. Yeah, that's true. They certainly will. Still, I like it.
Yep.
There's a lot to work with here.
$5 super chat from Super Barhoth. So the indirect broken? Points depending. Yeah,
I don't think it's broken, even though that's very good. None of that kills vehicles. None of that wants to mess with a knight. What a reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I like imagining a Chaos Knight with Armor of Contempt and like cover. And just being like, hey. Those 2 Manticores, gone. Bang. Alright, my turn. Those 2 Manticores, that Manticore, the Basilisk, gone.
Yeah.
The 2 Basilisks are like backing up, trying to kill a knight that gets a 2-up save that they wound on 5s.
Yeah, okay.
Like, no. It's done.
Yeah.
So
this is gonna be towering beats indirect, beats towering beats indirect, and it's gonna be a...
Yeah. Armored Sentinels and Scout Sentinels both look great. So maybe that will go
Points
somewhere.
Depending, I also really like the Bait and Blade variants.
Yeah.
4-up and home.
4-up and home, that's really nice.
Hard.
They do shoot kind of hard.
I mean, if they're 800 points, you want to take it. But if they're 500, 600...
I like the ones with the transport capacity.
Yes. You put a whole bunch of las cannons in there.
The only way I get my indirect, like my mortars alive.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Right on. So, that is going to wrap up the Guard review. So, thank you so much, everyone who watched. If you like this video, like this video. And please, if you can, leave a comment. Yep. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be going live later today with even more amazing 10th edition content. We're very excited for it. There's a lot more videos coming. So, please join us for all of that. And please check out The Worm. We're going to get even more high-quality 40K discussion. Quinton, thank you for hanging out with me here. Yep. Thank you to the chat. We'll be back in probably about half an hour with the next video.
I know.
And we'll see you then.
See you around.
Bye-bye.